All right, everyone. Appreciate all of you tuning in for this Black Monday recap stream. We'll be on for about an hour and a half, breaking down everything. Apologies I couldn't do the Black Monday stream in real time like I could last year. Long story short, RLS is not fun. And I tried to pull an all-nighter, working on some videos, getting the Pete Carroll video out. That is out right now. Click the link above if you want to watch it. Getting the Gannon video out that's going to come out tomorrow about a dumb decision he made against the Buccaneers and why he got fired. That's going to come out tomorrow. And also working on the video with Mike Tomlin and that play call at the end of the first half, because that's got to be a dumb decision. And basically then my legs started acting up and my body decided to shut down. So long story short, that's why we couldn't do that stream, but we are going to do a recap of everything happening with Black Monday, and we start with a fiver from Base Tug. Appreciate you tuning in, and good afternoon, Broncos country. How's it going, Coach? Appreciate you, man. This entire year was a disaster. Pete Carroll should not have been fired. So here's the thing with Pete Carroll. I appreciate the fiver, man. Also, you should know, before we go any further, every donation counts toward you make the call. Help me decide which game we're calling. For college basketball on Wednesday, Alabama Vandy, ASU BYU, Utah Colorado, or Davidson Loyola. So we got 4 games. For Wednesday, we got 2 games. We're going to be doing the High Point Winthrop game, and then we're going to be live for one of those games on there. So, and the video of the fan squad will hold Trevor Lawrence. Yes, that was great. So, here's why Carroll got fired. Number one, if you finish with the worst record in football, it's hard to convince a guy to stay. It really is hard. His clock management was also really bad. When I did the video on what happened at the end of the first half of the Broncos game, I mean, that timeout was atrocious. It's like George Stewart with the Panthers, yeah. That end of the first half was atrocious against the Broncos. And that was a symbol of a lot that went wrong with Pete Carroll. It wasn't just that the team was bad, he was out of his element. It didn't feel right. The Geno trade did not help at all. Yeah, Southern manager got sacked. Bad. Black Monday claimed him as well. Yeah, 5th through 14th, the Premier League is just insane right now. It's like no separation between them. It's insane. So, I had no problem firing Pete Carroll. Was the right move. Other firings, there were 2 today. Stefanski, we knew was coming. He'll get a job somewhere else. I could definitely see Tennessee getting him. I think it would be actually a pretty good move. Offensive mind, develop the quarterback. Although they are going to interview a lot of guys. Matt Nagy, Raheem Morris is being interviewed as well. And then, and the Falcons are interviewing Clint Kubiak. We knew that Morris got fired last night. And then the other one, Jonathan Gannon. I did not see that one coming. I did not see Gannon coming. Not because he didn't deserve it. He deserved to be fired. You lose 14 out of 15, you deserve to be fired. Jonathan Gannon was terrible. Absolutely awful. And I knew the moment training camp happened, the Cards were going to suck this year. I mean, I went to about half the training camps this year. Went to as many as I possibly could. And I was very clear in my videos when I reported from training camp and looked at this team, that this team was not well coached. And this team was going to suck. Now, I didn't think Bidwell was going to do it. I did not think Bidwell was going to make the move. But I'm glad he did. Having said that, I would not have kept Austin Ford. I would not have kept the GM. The half measures, I think he got a clean house. The team is worse than they were in 22 when he got there. It's been 3 years. This team is nowhere closer to competing. They're one of the worst teams in football. This team has whiffed on free agent signings. The drafts they've had have not been good. Look at the first round picks they've had. Darius Robinson's done nothing thus far. That 2024 class was just atrocious. 23 was pretty bad outside of, Paris Johnson's been fine and Michael Wilson's been a stud. But other than that, it's been pretty crap. I don't know why they didn't fire Austin Ford as well. And Gannon was also very cringy. Yeah, the fire in your belly. Be starting with a 10, I appreciate you a ton on that one. And then McKay. Yeah, let's talk about the Falcons. As a Falcons fan, I'm glad that Raheem and Terry are gone. Yeah, it's about time there. About time on that one. But I'm not buying Rich McKay is. Arthur's claiming moving to another role, but if he's still in the building, he's still get influence. Yep, that's the thing. There's still going to be that power struggle. There's still going to be a lot of people that reported under him that now it's like, well, what? Now what? I think if you're going to fire him, you got to go full scorched earth. You got to clean everything. You got to clean house completely. I'm not crazy about keeping guys from previous regimes unless they really have earned it. I'm not sure McKay has earned it. Who did Arizona take in 2024? Well, their first round pick was Darius Robinson, who's done nothing. Then they drafted Trey Benson, who's been pretty bad. He hasn't done much. They drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. I can't blame for that. He hasn't worked out as entirely as planned. Max Melvin, Isaiah Adams, Tip Ryman. I mean, what has Tip Ryman done? That was a third-round pick. The Cardinals had 7 picks in the first two days of the draft. They had 7 picks the first 2 days of the draft. That was their opportunity. McBride was not taken by Austin Fort. McBride was not taken by Austin Fort. I appreciate you a ton on that one with the 10 RB started. Yeah, Bengals keeping Taylor, I'm not surprised. It shouldn't happen. I think Taylor's not a good coach. I think he's being carried by the talent. I think just Mike Brown's way too cheap. Yeah, Arvell Reese, we'll see if they draft him, though. Yeah, the Colts press conference with Carly Ursay-Gordon was a disaster. Nothing words, sound, empty promises. Fortunately, like father, like son. I'll give her a full offseason. Again, the problem is that, and then trade out Chambliss if he goes back to almost gets a new deal. Good for him. Good for him. Zach Robinson, well, you're going to fire everyone. Basically, you don't have to fire Zach Robinson. I mean, he's going to be fired. But when a new coach comes in, they'll bring in their new staff. So for all intents and purposes, Zach Robinson is fired. Cards always hire for semi coach. Not Buddy Ryan. Dennis Screen, Buddy Ryan. That's happened a few times. Well, coaches are still not fired yet. They're on volcano lava this offseason. But Todd Bowles is up in the air. Why is there an FSU? Well, that's what you get for FSU. Todd Bowles, he has not met with ownership yet. Tenor on Bama. All right, get you on it. Appreciate you a ton. That counts as triple, too, because it's during a stream, so counts as a triple. And then basically, let me know which game you want to get you the call for it. Appreciate you guys a ton on that one. Chance if Steelers get crushed, they move on to Tomlin? No, I don't see it. How's it going? I appreciate you tuning in. How's the day going? Going all right so far. Bills, Chiefs, Bucks, so long having yearly long streaks as division champions. Yeah, crazy. I did not see that come at the start of the season. Did not see that come. Buffalo's still a darn good team. That's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm not crazy about Brad Allen being the referee for that game. But here's why I think Austin Fort should have been fired. Matthew with a 5er. The Falcons need to fire McKay. His only job is kiss up to Arthur Blank. He's been there since mid-2000s. Yeah, he's been there since the Buccaneers won Super Bowl 37. He's been there since 2003 at this point. Which you want Matthew, get you on the call. Yeah, I think they need to. It was like Chris Greer. It's like Chris Greer. He hasn't done much since then. I mean, McKay, his time is come and gone. Harbaugh needs new scenery. I think so too. Giants would be a very good move for him. And the Jags' best record since the Millennium. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Did not see that coming. But here's why I think you got to fire Austin Fort. If you're going to fire Gannon, I think it's the right move to fire Gannon. I think this is why I have to fire Austin Fort. Might it should not count? It can. No, if you want it to count, it can. If you don't want it to count, it doesn't have to. It's up to you. It's up to you, but it can count if you want it to. I appreciate the fiver, man. McKay, the GM, he's not the GM, but he's in like a front office role. So here's the thing. The Cardinals had a golden opportunity. They had a whopping 7 picks in the top 90. How is Glenn not fired? First time head coach, and the Johnsons are incompetent. Are they in the Texans being the sleeper teams? I think so right now. I think they're sleeping on the AFC South right now. Harbaugh not get fired now. And this is what they did. You have 7 picks in the top 90. You got to make them count. And this is what they did. This is why you should be fired. This feels like the Jets in 2014 when they had 14 picks and the best player they got was Quincy Anua. You only got a 3 seed. It's crazy. Every coach you think should be fired that has or won't be. Zach Taylor should be fired. I think McDaniel should be fired. Bowles should be fired. I think he might get fired. Glenn should be fired, but he's not going to be. Payne and Vrabel should be fired, yes. You want Colorado game. All right, get you on Colorado game. Appreciate you, man. You're not firing Glenn? Yeah, one and done crazy. Just your vote? All right, we'll do that. These were the picks they draft. These were the picks they got. Marvin Harrison, I can't blame him. It was the obvious pick. He's been okay. He has not been a top 5 guy. He's been okay. Yeah, Ballard should be gone as well. But the problem is, who'd want that job? Because you don't have a first-round pick the next 2 years. If you only get 3 years as a GM before you got to make your move, you only have 3 years, you don't have a first-round pick for 2 of them, and you have no quarterback? Man. Darius Robinson's done nothing. Max Melvin is getting fired. He should be. I think there's a trend with the collapses in the fourth quarter. Isaiah Adams, Trey Benson, Tip Ryman, Elijah Jones. Like, what is this? What is this class? 7 picks in the top 90. And this is what you got. It's terrible. Oh, Panthers win the South? Absolutely. Yeah, Bryce Young looks semi-competent now. Looks semi-competent. All the jokes come back to coach. It's about, yep. How much go the Giants? I think so. Pete retire? He's not getting a job again. He's not getting a head coaching job again. We might see a lot of retreads, so I could see Raheem Morris potentially getting a third chance, Matt Nagy getting a second chance, but I don't see Pete Carroll getting another chance. Surprised Stefanski and Shane? I am not. They've been talking about it for the past 2 months. I'm not surprised with that at all. It shouldn't be that way. I think his press conference was a joke. I think Shane's saying that I'm glad to be in an organization that allows you to stub your toe and keep your job. You haven't stubbed your toe. That implies you made one mistake. You've amputated the foot. Yeah, special teams last night, offense versus Pats, and then defense versus Bills. Yep. Cowboy the new Seifert. I don't think he was in the Hall of Fame to begin with. It was close. He was borderline, but I don't think he's making the Hall of Fame now. Ravens fire Orr hasn't happened yet. I think they will. I think Zach Orr will be gone. Tom Brady is head coach. He has no reason to be a head coach. 375 million reasons with Fox not to be a head coach. You know, Lamar, that loss was not on him at all. You know, Lamar threw 2 touchdowns in the fourth. He played his butt off. That throw to Adams was insane as well. And that throwaway on third down was critical. All good over and appreciate you, man. You get rid of your also coaches. It's called Delta Force and send to somewhere. See you for now. Team Irish thinking they do not care about winning. That is true. I'm hoping the Titans do it. Monken, he'll be safe. Monken's safe. Pete Carroll, Hall of Famer? No, I don't think so. Yeah, Pete Carroll is fired. I have a dumb decision down on Pete Carroll from the game against the Broncos. Click above if you want to watch it. Pete Carroll, I think, had a chance to make the Hall of Fame with a good stint. I think Pete Carroll and Sean Payton were in very similar spots, where I don't think they were Hall of Famers, but if their most recent stint worked out, they would make the Hall of Fame. Sean Payton, obviously at this point, he makes a Super Bowl, he's in the Hall of Fame. He's on track to make the Hall of Fame at this point. Pete Carroll, no chance. If Shanahan's not in, Holmgren's not in, Coughlin's not in yet, I don't see how Pete Carroll's getting at this point. No, Monken's been all right. Monken has been all right with the Ravens. He might get head coaching offers. Carroll have the same tier of coaches as Schottenheimer, Reeves, and Knox? Yes. Though he won a ring, but yeah, I could see that. Campaign redeem his career? Absolutely. Absolutely can redeem his career. It's not even a debate. He's been a revelation for the Broncos. It's been an absolute revelation. Zach Orr getting fired? I think it should happen. Not sure if it's going to. I'm not sure they make any moves before. They don't want to be very reactionary after last night, so they might give it a day, but tomorrow they might make moves. Right, Carroll coaches the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think that's a tough one. I think it's a tough one with Carroll. We both agree he's not a Hall of Famer. I think the question is, was he in beforehand? I think that's where the debate would start. Like Seifert, I think we both agree was in beforehand. We disagree on the fact that he coached himself out. But we agree he was in beforehand. Carroll, I'm not sure he was ever in beforehand. Same thing with Sean Payton. He was never in beforehand. Payton now has a good chance. Carroll, I think his chances are slim to none. What are the Saints and Broncos if the Payton trade doesn't happen? The Saints would be kicking the can down the road with Cap and be finishing with 10 wins every year. More disastrous. Carroll and Vegas or Seifert and Carolina? I would say Seifert and Carolina only because at least Carroll, it was only 1 year and you got the first overall pick. At least you got a franchise quarterback out of it. Pete Carroll Seahawks series for 2014. It was fine. I thought it was fine. Monken's interview for head coach jobs. Fact. They need Sharon Moore as head coach. Yes, they do. Wait to buy tickets until Saturday because the dad might go if it's Packers. Yeah. The problem is that if it's Packers, the price is going to skyrocket. So I might want to get on that now. And they could resell it. Could Jesse Minter be a good candidate for the Raiders? And you think the Steelers beat the Texans in the playoffs? Steelers, I don't think beat the Texans. I think that defensive line for Houston is great. Rodgers, I think, will get destroyed in that pocket. Minter, I think he will be a candidate. He'll be the hot name. I think Minter and Kubiak are the 2 hot names for first-time head coaches this year. And then Sala and Stefanski are the 2 hot names for retread coaches. That's my guess. Another 20 more years of Mike Tomlin. Yep. 10,000 years. Avery retirement rumors? I don't think it's happening this year. I think he'll go as long as his health allows him to. Firing is all good cause? Yes, 100%. How did Adrian Hill get a game? Ron Torbert got a game. Brad Allen got a game. It's crazy. Brad Allen got the Jaguars game. Ron Torbert's on the Chargers Patriots. And you have Adrian Hill doing a playoff game. So 3 of the worst refs again playoff games. Riddle me that. Dang with a 5 get you on Bama. Appreciate you a ton. Nagy strikes me as QB fit into my system coach instead of the other way around. He'll ruin Darter Ward. Vet quarterback fits into a system better. Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs' offense was not good this year. It took a step back, and that's not a coincidence. Should the Colts have clean house? I think the problem with the Colts, is that they kind of screw themselves. They get Harrigan? I think so, which I don't think it should. Buy now, sell the other way? Yeah, that's the right move. Right, never sell extra when you go sell it. Nope. Why is Stefanski get fired but the GM gets to keep his job? And that could be said that Seifert's career... Yeah, I think slightly worse version of Tom Flores. I think that's fair. think that's fair. Who does Arizona hire? I don't think it's going to be a flashy hire. I mean, I could see Campanelli potentially. Worst stream reader, Belichick? Belichick. You ever get Minter Flores as head coach? Ooh. Mendoza, franchise quarterback of Herrera's with the last time had number 1. Yeah, although the work ethic for Mendoza is good. So the thing with the Colts, here's the problem. Steichen, you retain him, that's one thing, and you get rid of Ballard. The problem is that I think most GMs, you only have 3 years. If you can't build a team in 3 years, you're done. For the most part. Lincoln Riley, no, I cannot. Not at this point. I think that ship is sailed. Best first round game, I'm going Jaguars-Bills. I think it's going to be a really fun game. The problem is that who's going to want that GM job? If you only get one shot to be a GM, you have 3 years to do it. Why would you take a GM job where you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a first-round pick this year, or a first-round pick next year? You have no assets, you have no quarterback. That'd be a problem. Rivera's an offensive-minded coach. Yeah, you need someone who's going to develop Mendoza. Does Salad do good at second time? I think so. The Jets are just a mess of an organization. I think so. Colts collapse to be compared to 08 or 09 Broncos. Yeah, I would say that's fair. Yeah, Nagy is a QB fit. I do agree with that. Do I consider that a dynasty? The Raiders? Ooh. Man, 3 and 8 years, I don't. If you win 3 and 8, I don't. I don't consider it. It's a mini dynasty. I don't consider it on the same level as like the Steelers of the 70s, 4 and 6, or the Cowboys of the 90s, or the Niners of the 80s. I don't consider 3 and 8 a dynasty. Well, the Falcons hire. I could definitely see Jesse Minter to the Falcons. I could see that. How's it going, Amphibia? Appreciate you tuning in. Go Brian Flores with Raiders, don't hire him. Stefanski, Giants. I think he'll go to the Giants. Is Zona draft Nussmeyer, get Brian Kelly as head coach? Oh, that'd be a mistake. That'd be terrible. Maybe around the Colts to the stubbornness, because Kevin Ballard is shocking, because with this time there's nowhere to say. Yeah. Let me say it on for probably until 6:30 Eastern. Probably around there. Yeah, Mike Tomlin GPT leads the Steelers to a 9-8 record. Kingsbury goes somewhere? No, not this year. Not this year. I don't think the offense did enough. Kingsbury's got a few red flags. And then Tomlin's going to Hall of Fame. Yes, Tomlin is going to be a Hall of Famer. That streak of, 20 seasons to start off, 500 better, that will never be topped again. Mendoza franchise quarterback for the Raiders? I think he can be. 3 times same quarterback and coach would call a dynasty? No, not 3 and 8 years. I wouldn't call that. Pats 1 dynasty or 2 dynasties. I consider them 2 separate dynasties. I go 2 on that one. Brian Daboll, suit job? Easily. Yes, easily. Falcons will hire Belichick this summer. No chance. No chance. Belichick has torpedoed his chances of getting another job. Condoleezza Rice? Yes, absolutely. Looking at Patullo. Please hire Patullo. That'd be so funny. I have so much content. You have to deal with Amagos on Saturday. Yeah, awful. Awful on that one. Awful there. But I agree with you, Dang, on that one with Nagy. Big losers of black money. Bengals, Jets, Giants. Absolutely. Kyler's still gone? Yes. I think that ship has sailed. I think he's going to get traded somewhere. Flores weeks Tom Brady. Wouldn't shock me. Again, I think the only thing is that Flores really needs to select the quarterback to boost his confidence up. He really needs to select the quarterback for that to happen. Bears-Packers game. I think that's Adrian Hill, right? I think that's Adrian Hill. Mike McCarthy gets a head coaching job? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure he's going to coach again. Unless it's the Titans, I don't think it's going to happen. Sirianni got fired if he goes to 1-10? No chance. No chance. Yeah, I can do the Pats as 1 dynasty. The problem is you can't go 9 years without winning. Has any coach been fired during the NFL playoffs? Oh, many times. Yeah, Mike Mularkey got fired during the playoffs. They won a playoff game. He got fired. Mark Schottenheimer got fired during the playoffs. But do you mean like while they were coaching their team in the playoffs? Yes. Chuck Fairbanks got fired. Best one in Cincinnati. Vince Young, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Yeah, Chuck Fairbanks. Long story short with Fairbanks, that's very similar to Lane Kiffin's situation. So Chuck Fairbanks was the coach of the Patriots. 1978 guides the team to the playoffs. And then he decides, I want to become the head coach of Colorado, but I want to finish out my time with the Patriots. I want to coach the rest of the season with the Pats and then go to Colorado. And the Pats are like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. You're not doing that. Then he was reinstated a few days later. And then left. It was messy. So yeah, I would say, yeah, Fairbanks. Found dark horse playoff team next year? Depends on the guy's coach and quarterback. But yeah, I mean, there's no real dark horse in the NFC South. With that division, there's no dark horse. Giants keeping Shane, the Bengals keeping Taylor. Bengals are just dirt cheap. Like if you do good at LSU? Yes, absolutely. Giants keeping Shane. And why that was what was why the Browns keep Berry but fire Stefanski. Because Berry's draft was awfully good this year. That's why. It'd be hard to fire Andrew Berry after the draft he had in 2025. It really would be. That draft saved his job. Otherwise, they would have cleaned house entirely. That draft, you get Schweizinger, who's probably the favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mason Graham was really good this year. Judkins was good. Fadden was one of the best tight ends in football this year. Dylan Sampson had his moments as well. Obviously, the quarterbacks didn't work out. But this is why. I'm shocked Cards fired. No, they fired Gannon. They fired Gannon. We got your tickets. Let's go. Titans record next season? I think 5-12. Yeah, crazy into the spout. Oh, yeah, the priest with the holy water. Yeah, crazy. That was nuts. I can't believe that actually worked. Why is Ballard staying? Because the Colts have no ammo the next 2 years. No first round pick in 26 or 27, so no GM's going to take that job. Right decision move for Stefanski? I think it was time. I definitely think it was time to move on. I can live with that, JP. I live with that. But this is why. This is why the Browns kept Berry. Because this draft was so good. Mason Graham, really good. Schweizinger, love the guy. Is Zach Taylor sells the job crazy. What quarterback do Falcons draft for current position? They might go for a veteran at this point. They might just retain Kirk Cousins for one more year. Judkins, good season before he got injured. Sampson, decent backup. Fadden, one of the best seasons by a rookie tight end of all time. Why Shane? Well, because you're not going to go half measure. Steelers have to drown the field in Holy War to protect Aaron. Yes, they will have to at this point. Titans interviewing Nagy, Anarumo, and Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo I don't get. I don't get any of those. Anarumo maybe, but Nagy, he was not good as the first-time coach. He was not good with the Chiefs' offense this year. And Spagnuolo, he's about 70. His first stint was one of the worst stints by any coach of all time. Makes no sense. That makes sense, JP. Kellen Moore, when it's done, no chance. No. That would be one of the dumbest firings ever. He fired Kellen Moore after 1 year. Kellen Moore, the offense clicking. The Saints exceeded all expectations with no talent on that team. Tyler Shuck looks awfully good. Why have him learn a second system for no reason? Kellen Moore has done wonders with that offense. I think Kellen Moore's in a very good spot. It would be a massive mistake to fire Kellen Moore after 1 year. There's no way. His Spags head coach would be terrible. I remember that, Mr. Relevant. Yep. Clint Kubiak, he's going to be the number one candidate. He'll definitely be the number one candidate in terms of first-time head coaches. Right, Noam Brian Kelly, Reese Ford, but not the ceiling. Also, he's just not a likable guy at all. McCarthy, I don't think he's getting a job this year. On a scale of invading Russia in the words to train for Deshaun Watson, how dumb is the decision for the Giants to retain their GM? Oh, man. It's pretty freaking dumb. I would have cleaned house, because now the problem is that Shane, if he gets fired after this year, they can do a half measure, and then the GM is going to be tied to the next head coach, and then it goes from there, and it's not good. It's not good. It makes sense, JP. Obviously, it's a long ways away. Specs time when Reed goes down? I think so, too. I think so. I think I could retire. Schwartz faces Stefanski. I'm going to say fiction on that one. Well, Arch declare for the draft, not this year. He'll go in 27. He needs 1 more year. Burns trade decent drafting, saves Shane, even though we missed some top picks. Yeah, he's whiffed on a lot of top picks. Yards returning for 26. Yeah, give Moore a chance to 26. Not even close. Dave Vergone, I remember him at Louisville. Every NFC wildcard team win next weekend. No, I think the Bears win. Packers are too banged up. Packers, I think, are a bit too banged up. I don't think Spags is going to be head coach again. No. It's very rare for a defensive guy to get a second chance. I mean, Vance Joseph will get a second chance, I think. I think Joseph will get some looks. And I wouldn't hate it. I could see Arizona for Vance Joseph. Will the Jets tank for Arch? No, they'll probably draft their quarterback this year with the number 2 pick. They'll probably go Dante Moore. Thanks, Skip Casero. Yeah, half measures sometimes work, sometimes don't. I'm never a half measure guy. And that's part of being a Jaguars fan, is that we had so many half measures and they never worked out. Why Shane? Because again, you're not going to go half measure on that one. I think Shane, you can chalk it up to they've been competitive the last 3 years. You got to pass after the Daniel Jones injury. Dallas for the DC. Oh, man. I mean, you could go for anyone. Anyone not named Eberflus is a good candidate. I mean, I think, honestly, our linebackers have been pretty good this year. I think Tim Lakubu could be an option. For DC. Hey, see Tim take Joseph off Denver? Yeah, he's done wonders with Denver. It's really funny how that worked out. Like, he was not a great head coach the first time out. Goes back to Denver. He's even worse as a DC, allowing a 70-point game. And then the second half of that season, they turned it around. Then that defense became insane. And now it's like Joseph's a legend there. It's insane how that worked out. Worst Black Monday ever? No. Jets are probably I'm going to laugh so hard. Especially in the New York market. Oh, that man. If Lewis isn't fired, so they're not looking for new DC. I think it could happen, though. I mean, it could happen by tomorrow. Brian Kelly gets interview fiction. No chance. No chance. He's done. Kurt Becker, I did not see what he said. Let me check. About the Falcons GM who got fired. Let me see. Well, wasn't he on the Falcons for a little bit? Right? Didn't Baker get a look in preseason for the Falcons? Let me see. Remember when Terry called me for the first time we got the job? It's like, great to meet you. Looking forward again after it. Immediately said this is that type of call and cut me. God. Oh, man. Whew. Yeah, JP on that one. Thoughts on Gannon getting canned? Right move. I'm shocked it happened. Only because, and Glenn will be Mincy fire next year. I'm going to say fact of that one. Jets and Francisco's our head coach next year. I mean, if they go with the Kansas City model, they make the playoffs. Sala gets Titans and stinks again. I mean, I'm not sure. I would want an offensive-minded coach for the Titans, so I don't think Sal would be a good fit for them, but I think he will get a job somewhere. My Bengals are Matt Reiner, yep. Brian Kelly just a team by Petrino, pretty much. But thoughts on Gannon getting canned, it's the right move. I was a bit surprised because all indications were that Bill was going to be too cheap to do it, even after 14 out of 15. Look, I said at the start, I said back in July. Tua gets restructured to get his release fact. Back in July, I said, this team's going to suck this year. I flat out said, watching camp, this is not an NFL team. Lincoln still the Ole Miss coach? No, he's not. Jets and Raiders is forever bad teams? No, they are not. No, look, I thought the Jaguars were a forever bad team. All it takes is one guy. When I think the determination is made on Harbaugh, I think he's going to stay one more year. I think they'll announce it on Tuesday. Coach Leaders finish all 3 seasons with a losing record, no playoffs, and should be fired. For the most part, yes, I agree with you there. It's very rare nowadays with free agency and the draft. Back then, back in like the 60s and the 70s, before there was a salary cap and when there was no free agency, that was a little bit different. But now, yes. Based on what the two appreciated men, Seattle's only chance of Kubiak leaving, that's not true. Look, I think a lot of people thought Gus Bradley was the architect of the Legion of Boom, and people thought that was Seattle's only chance, and then he gets poached, and then Dan Quinn comes in, and they do even better. Solid to go to an offensive mind team? Yes, I think we got the quarterback in place. See this very well. I think it is very, very well at that point. Slay with the Kansas City Models? No, it's a Mike Francesa thing. It's a Mike Francesa joke. It was one of those things where it was a troll call. It was so funny. As a Jaguar fan, Myers said the Jags had a great team to finish 8-9. I would be livid. I'll be absolutely livid on that. Are they can get another OC? Yeah, they can get another OC. I mean, look, I flat out said, I watched a lot of Cardinals camp. I said this team is not good. I said flat out, this offensive line is going to get someone killed, or either they're the 85 Bears reincarnate. This offensive line is not good. Lots to talk about with this team. Not good. Oh, Cronfeld says, oh, love it. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, because some people like they don't know who Francis is, because it's very original. Where does he Salah going? Ooh. I can see Cleveland. How many quarters the Raiders paying next year? It depends on the Gruden lawsuit. At least 3. Who gets Brian Flores? He might stay in Minnesota one more year. I did say Walter Rowan is going to be a fan favorite if he balls out. And he has been a fan favorite. Yeah. Cards camp. Offense sloppy. It was... Anyone look who's the Cardinals camp try to plug? No. I don't think so. If you're just get the name out there. What old quarterback reminds me of Tua? Oh. Everett. Jim Everett by the end of his career. Was like that. Titans Kubiak, I would hate that. Brown, Schwartzbro, John Stefanski. I think John Stefanski is the only one I'm going to lock in. Falcons Burke. Yeah, Burke's going to be a hot name as well. Can become an OC again? Or DC? He'll be a DC somewhere. I could see honestly the Cowboys on that one. I would see Dallas. Eagles fire too low? I think they will, yes. If they go one and done and they stink in the playoffs, I think they will. Yeah, don't get fired on the guts. Didn't take the bus. Did not take the bus. The board's not going to NFL. Rush Rock includes sacks. Yeah, Al Baker deserves his due. Al Baker should be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves his due. Sorry, Chris Everest here. Here we go, Jim Rome. Dude, if he wants to go play for Minnesota, we can go to quarterback rehab. I mean, why not? I mean, work for Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. Last one. Again, Gannon was the right move to get fired. Gannon was 100% the right move to get fired. I'm just a bit surprised it happened because of all that. Is it going to be Eberflus? They haven't announced it yet. They haven't announced anything with Eberflus yet. But if they fire him, I could see Gannon. How Glenn not get fired? One and done. One and done, it's going to be tough. Usually for a first-timer, one and done, you're usually not going to happen. Watch Phil gets interviewed, that'd be insane. But the OC might promote from within. Could just promote within. Of course, from Senecti, coach of the Giants, and Dion, yeah. Or Mark Brunell. I could see potentially go Mark Brunell if the Lions don't fire their corners. Yeah, Glenn is bad. It was not a good hire. Yeah, Wilson's been very good. Michael Wilson's like one of the few bright spots for the Carrolls. He was very good this year. Top coach candidates hold out and taking the job in case McDermott gets fired if the Jags win. Well, I can't interview as it is. I mean, no one gets hired the first week as it is. The only time it happened was Mike Vrabel. Glenn was worse than Carroll. Yes, he was. Yes, he was worse than Carroll. Giants coach Deion Sanders, no chance. Deion doesn't even want to go pro. He does not want to go pro at all. There's Jet Stevens with the whole season without intercepted pass. With an offensive back as head coach. That'll never happen again. We're never going to see in today's NFL a team go a whole season without intercepting a pass. I think we can safely say that was a one-time thing. I appreciate all you guys tuning in for this one. Yeah, Kelly's not going NFL. He would not mesh well with the players. Leslie Willis from within went horrible. Do you think it will work this time? I mean, again, it's different people. It's different people. I don't know. Again, they might not even fire Patullo. It depends on how they do in the playoffs. Stefanski, I could see being assistant in the quarterback coach if you think starts guy. Yeah, I think Stefanski with Dart would work very well. I think the Giants will go after Stefanski. I think there's 5 names to watch out for, or 6 names to watch out for this cycle. 6 names. Retread guys, Saleh and Stefanski. In terms of first-timers, Campanelli, Burke, Kubiak, and... I was wrong about Gannon, but everyone was saying he was going to be safe. Yeah, but right now it's McDaniel's saying yes. McDaniel is going to stay. I'm going to go with that. It was nice. Yeah, Aaron Glenn was the DB and can't coach teams to a single pick. It's crazy. Crazy. Stefanski Eagles OC, I think he's going to get a head coaching job. Team to go without intercepting a pass all season? Oh, without getting intercepted this season? No. Not since at least the 30s before people threw. LeBron Tala, appreciate it. Yeah, I got it for Christmas. I love it. South State DC at the Irish? No, he'll get a job somewhere. He'll go head coach somewhere. We'll go to the game come Seattle. All good. All good. Yeah, in terms of first-time guys, Burke, Kubiak, Campanelli, I think are the big ones this year. Barry's best and worst picks. I think best pick, Schweisinger. Schweisinger was a great pick. Worst, Dylan Gabriel made no sense at the time. It still makes no sense. Yeah, score Barry, yep. I love it. Mike Daniel can fired by the new GM. Well, Mike Daniel's going to be a part of the search. For a kid who's done with football, he might be. I mean, he's made his money. McDaniel has expressed confidence. So the Jags, appreciate that. Appreciate you a ton. Yeah, it's been crazy. Absolutely crazy to see what's happened. Does Stefanski be head coach till 27? I mean, he's been a hot name. Ever since he got fired, everyone's been talking about him as a guy. Kelsey Woods last game, I think he did. I think at this point, all signs are pointing to that. I mean, he's got the wedding to plan. I think his body's broken at this point. He's got the podcast. He's set. I think he wants to spend time with Taylor at this point. I'm feeling it right into you now. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. But Eagles skimming steer, I think, over the play calling. That could happen. South in Atlanta? Yeah, why not? Why not? Stefanski hiring, did it reek of ownership want to cling to Shore Sanders? No, it has nothing to do with Shador. I think it was just time for a change. Look, Stefanski's won about 25% of his games in the last 2.5 years. It was just time for a change there. You're not going to fire Barry because he had a great draft this last draft. You want to keep it going. So you're not firing him, but I think it was just time for a change. No, they got the number 1 pick. They got the number 1 pick. They were the worst team in football. So I'm not fixing that. Matthew Atier, is this how Michael sits here? No, it should be. I think he's washed, but I don't think it will be his last year. He's shown all indications he wants to come back. I don't think Amazon has standards in terms of their talent, because otherwise Chris Thompson would not be there. Gads replace Sal. I could see that. I definitely see that. Kelsey wins 1 more year, treats like Super Bowl. Kelsey scores on Valentine's Day. TV show still every 5 minutes. Shoot the TV when Casey wins on bogus flag. Yep. Be ready for the Jags full run. Kelsey getting retired easily. Yes, he's the greatest in Chiefs history. Who's he on the Axe since 11? He's got on the Axe. Well, Stefanski's gone. Carroll's gone. Raheem Morris is gone. And Jonathan Gannon's gone. Yeah, now Stefanski gets a second chance. Guess the coaching hires. Well, I mean, Burke will get a look, I think. I think it's going to be Burke, Kubiak. I think Campanelli's going to get some looks. Stefanski, Salah. Come on with $1. Appreciate you, man. And Matt, you wanted the Bama game, if I'm not mistaken. That's me. Skits goes to Giants. All right. And then which game do you want? Come on. Appreciate you, man. Which game do you want? Steven Stefanski. Hershey's last year? I don't think it is. I think they'll do a clean sweep after next season. How long do we see situated like what happened with Roger's helmet? Every now and then. Why try skills to returning Gonzalez? I mean, Gonzalez was great, but I think it's just the fact that he played his entire career in KC. No guess who goes where? Stefanski to the Giants, I think. Stefanski, Giants, Salah, Browns. They want Colorado? All right, get you on Colorado. No, yeah, I didn't put you on anything yet. I'm going to get you on Colorado. Haley be a good head coach eventually. I think he'll get some looks. I don't think he's going to get a look this year. Right, Kelsey at 13,000 yards. Yep. Burke is right now the Texans DC, and Kubiak is the Seahawks offensive coordinator. Brown's another offensive guy. I think we need a quarterback. Yes. Oh yeah, Jesse Minter. Yes, that I knew I was blanking on someone. Minter. Yes. Yeah, the 3 first-time guys are going to get looks: Campanelli, Burke, Kubiak, Minter. The 4 first-time guys, and then retreads you're looking at Stefanski, Salah. Those are probably the guys, and Nagy, but I'm not crazy about Nagy. Replace Michaels and Herbie. I think Noah Eagle and Greg Olson at some point. Chiefs for his most strong game of the year. No one watched it, so I'm going to say fiction. Pete Carroll done for good? Yes. He's not getting another job at this point. He's not getting another job. Yeah, Thielen, and he's done it for this year. Harrison Smith, I think, is done. Aaron Rodgers, I think he'll play 1 more year at this point. Kelsey, I think, is done. Stefanski, the Ravens, that'd be a smart move. They move for Harbaugh. Wouldn't hate it. Would not hate the move. But I could see potentially Monken getting promoted from then. Does Texas fall apart with Burke? I don't even know if he's leaving. I don't even know if Burke is leaving. That defense is good. D'Amico Ryan's the defensive coach. I don't even know if he's leaving. It's not going to fall apart. But, again, I don't know if it's going to happen. You say, Lauren Jabieski brought up every time I mentioned Kevin. I love it. Play for the Jags wildcard? Nope. I'll be at the game. So I'll be in Jacksonville. So the schedule for wildcard week, we're going to be live for both games Saturday in my hotel room in Jacksonville. Sunday, just live for Chargers-Patriots. I'll be walking back from the stadium during Eagles-Niners. Jaguars-Bills, I'll be at the game. And then Monday for the Steelers game against the Texans, I'm back in here. And Shula, I'm not sure about Shula. Why Travis over Tony Gonzalez? Because Travis is a lifer. Gonzalez didn't play his whole career there. First ever game in person, I love it. Josh Grizzard, no, he was not good this year. No, he disappointed. Market release Hall of Fame ballot? All right. Why are people saying Rodgers and Washington played amazing yesterday? I mean, he's not as mobile. Oh, no. Okay, so Markakis got a ballot? Are you kidding me? Wait, that's 12. Hang on a second. That's 12. This can't be a real ballot. Yeah, no, that's not a real ballot. Yeah, this guy's not a real person. It's a parody. Okay, thank God. I was going to say. Go to legit playoff games? No. Kirk Herbstreit good at color commentary? Not anymore. Not great. Think Jackson was Buffalo? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. Look, it would not shock me. Team now with the Chiefs, no chance. He's not going to move. He's got plenty of money. He's got everything he's wanted. He's not going to move. He wants to spend more time with Taylor Swift at this point. Also, leaves Fox to say football. Oh, he wouldn't leave Fox. It would be doing 2 games in a week. Chris Fry midseason, Callahan, Dable. Yep, those are the guys starting midseason. And then Rob of the 2, I worry about Dante more with Aaron Glenn. Me too. I think he could be a mid-season firing next year, and then Moore would be in a really bad spot. Which game do you want, Rob? Get you on the call for it. So if I'm nice. Tony Gonzalez better than Travis Kelce. It's close. They're neck and neck. All career considered. Jags Super Bowl going to San Fran, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see on that one. Fly back from London on Saturday games. Oh, man. Hopefully you had a good time in Disney, though. Hopefully you had a really good time. At least the Pats don't fly. That's good for you. Yeah, Marcus Freeman took his name out of the ring. How disappointed are NFL teams with that? I think they're a bit disappointed. Because I think Freeman could have worked potentially as an NFL coach. Carroll coach Smell the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure he was in the Hall to begin with, but I think he definitely is not making the Hall anymore. Vrabel or Cohen coach of the year? I think it's going to be Vrabel. I think Vrabel gets coach of the year this year. McDonald's a good case, too. Donnie Marshall State College? No, he'll be a top 5 pick. If you're a top 5 pick, you go. Bradshaw retire this year? No, he's going to work till he dies. Jason among centers or Travis among tight ends? Jason Kelce among centers is better. Where's your offensive-minded coach? They should. Absolutely, they should hire an offensive-minded coach. Yeah, if you're getting Mendoza, you need an offensive-minded coach. You want a system in place. You see what an offensive-minded coach did with Trevor Lawrence. Jags won't go in the next playoff game. If it's at home, maybe. If it's on the road, no. No, I'm not going to New England. Most surprising team this year. Jaguars. I did not see that coming. You want to ASU? Get you on ASU? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I think we're keeping the Hall very good. I think so, too. The more people think Buffalo win, the more I think Jags fall off. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a fun game. It'll be a really fun game. Bills window closed after the season. As long as you have Josh Allen, the window is not closed. As long as Josh Allen's there, the Jags hired McAdoo, I would hate it. The worst pick by Barry. Dylan Gabriel never made any sense. Dylan Gabriel was a horrible pick. Ika also was a bad pick. 3rd round pick, and you only played 1 year. That was bad. That was really bad, actually. And then I think the entire Deshaun Watson trade. I'm not sure how much ownership meddled in that, but Cade York was another one that was not good. Yes, I do know. Yes, he was the GM of the D-backs for a while. Yes, he actually coached. Not coached. He did a class in at law school. He did one of the classes at law school. I wasn't in that class, but he did one of the classes at the law school. Matthew with a 5 appreciation man does start watching Al Michaels, an all-time great announcer struggling. Yes. The problem with Al Michaels right now is that he doesn't have the energy. It's very clear. I'm fine with him calling bad football. But when you're making bad calls and losing your train of thought and not getting players right, not bringing the energy level on good football, like Seahawks Rams, that was terrible. Jags is terrible. I would lose my mind if that happened. Lose my mind. As long as the Chiefs had Patrick, that window was open, yep. Who cares to have that good draft years ago? We traded the farm for Watson. Years ago, we're talking last year on that one. We're talking last year. Last year was a good draft. Last year was a really good draft. Pay the Hall right now? It's close. Makes Super Bowl he's in. This year he had a good draft. You know, yeah, I that happened with my grandpa too. Come on, it's not fun. It's not fun when that happens. Yeah, when you hear the same thing to tell the truth moment, yep. I get that. That was great. Yeah, Chris Myers was awful yesterday. He's been awful all season. Evergreen tweet there. And I'll get you Matthew on that one. I only said through some Seahawks terms at the end, but not the fourth quarter. Why is Trevor not good at color anymore? He's very surface level. I think it's hard to do college and NFL. He doesn't know the ins and outs now well. And the other thing too with Herbie is that he's making the broadcast a lot about himself. Yeah, Sauber, that was a good call. That one was good, but that was once in a blue moon kind of thing. Good draft. You rejected Travis Hunter. I mean, that's worked out pretty well for him. How is Glenn not fired? Because the Jets don't want to pay another coach because the Johnsons don't know what they're doing. Good riddance, Stefanski. Yeah, it's time right now. Yeah, this is the. Yeah, I have 2 remaining at this point too, Gamano. I have 2 remaining. This was his last draft. That's why. The fake punt on 1st and 10, that was because they had 12 on the field. They were trying to get a free play because they had 12 on the field. It was the right call. 100% the right call to call the fake punt on 1st down. Because they were trying to get 12 on the field. Yeah, that's awful, Gamano. That's awful. Yeah, Mason Graham was a good pick. Schweizner is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, although I think Eman Morris should win it, but Schweizner has been amazing. Judkins was good. Fannin, one of the best seasons by a rookie tight end of all time. Like, he hit. He got a core linebacker, a core defensive lineman, a great running back, and a franchise tight end. Listen to you on Thursdays because those are so bad. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate enough to listen to Al Michaels a lot, but when I do, it's bad. When I listen to the highlights, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Those are the calls. Mike McDaniel and Tua another year in Miami. Tua, no, I think they'll buy him out. McDaniel, yes. Well, that's why his job is safe. Take the quarterbacks out. He didn't whiff on any of these picks. Take out Sanders and Gabriel because they suck. But in terms of the first 4 picks, he hit on all 4 of them. Dale St. Joe in the Lions, Raiders in capacity. I think he might just be done. I don't think he was forced out by CBS. I think he might just be done. He might just be, you know what, it's my time. Would Taylor be qualified to be an OC even if he was fired? He'd get a look. He would definitely get a look. But Barker understood the assignment, yes. Barker understood it very well. Yeah, I'm not just call day games probably more energy. Yeah, but he would never do that. His ego would never let him do that. Would never let him do that because he wants to be in front of a national audience. League will consider eliminating home field for division winners for losing records. I think that's going to be a conversation at this point with the NFC South having happened 3 times now. I think depending on how the Panthers-Rams game goes. I would not be surprised if the NFL makes a rule saying that if you have a losing record, the wild card hosts. Even Samson could back up running back, yes. Like, the 5 picks that he made, not counting quarterbacks, were good. That's why Barry's safe. That's why. Allen X, the Niners ref. Better than our ref. We got Brad Allen. And we got Torbert on one of the games, and we got Adrian Hill on one of the games. A pre- and post-game analyst? Potentially, yeah. It's easier workload. Head coach ever switch from OC to DC or vice versa? Yes. Yes, that's happened. That happened. Who was it just with the Patriots? What was it? Was Joe? Was it Joe Judge? Or was Joe Judge who did that? Right? Wait, who thought? Did Bill Steven this weekend? I mean, they scare me. I mean, Josh Allen's awfully good. Every game scares me at this point. Every game scares me at this point. I'm terrified. Every game scares me. But you know what? It's a heck of a ride. Whatever happens, happens. Josh Allen scares me. I think we're a better team, but they have Josh Allen, and you know what he can do. And they have James Cook, and you know what he can do. Walker Sale for me again. Both games Saturday, I'll be calling those in Jacksonville, my hotel room. Sunday, just Patriots Chargers in the hotel room. Monday, we're going to be live for, we're going to be live in here for the Steelers game. Wait, no, not Judge. Belichick. Patricia. That's who. No, not Patricia. I knew it was Yeah, it was Patricia. Right? Right? Patricia was, yeah, it was Patricia. Yeah, he went from DC to O-line. Yeah, went from DC to O-line. Todd Bowles and Harbaugh. Harbaugh, I think, is safe. Bowles, I think, is safe for one more year. Yeah, Torbert's in Foxborough. Adrian Hill, I think, is Chicago, Green Bay. I'm not crazy about it. I don't know why. Those are the 3 worst refs. I don't get it. Bill O'Brien, he's safe for one more year. Oh, you mean, was it him? No, it wasn't him. No. Phil Purvis, head coach in Cleveland, Chambliss, a quarterback. I don't think he should be a head coach in the NFL. I think you can't hire a guy that's only coaches high school football. So that happened when Jeff Saturday didn't work. I think the thing with Rivers, he's a brilliant mind. But the problem with Rivers is that coaching high school with kids who are trying to improve themselves and they're playing for friends and family and brotherhood and whatnot and trying to potentially go to college. It's very different if you've never coached an NFL team. Very different than coaching NFL grown men who are the best of the best. Yeah, every year they're going to do that, David. Matt Patricia is still with Ohio State. Yeah, he's still with Ohio State. Why not? That defense was good this year. This is good. Defense from Morris Hill on 26. No, that was the right call. 100% the right call. It's a 44-yard field goal. Henry has some fumbling issues. I get it. I completely get it. In that spot, you center the ball, you kick the field goal. You expect, and as an NFL kicker, 45-yard field goal, you expect it to make. Yeah, Mike Nolan, yes, that was the other one too. Raheem Morris, pass game coordinator as well, yes. Matt Patricia, when he had the beard and backward hat, looked like quintessential New Englander, yes, he did. Yeah, the Astros retired player, play manager without any previous experience. That is true. Well, the Yankees hired Boone out of the broadcasting booth. Matt Canada still in football? No, I don't think Canada is. Oh, that's a blast from the past. Matt Canada, I don't think is still in there. You know, he is not. Right, kicker should make a 44-yard, yeah. You know, you're in range. I have no problem with the kneel down. Get to the hash. I'll throw on the bar with Jackson. Again, I don't hate the kneel down. It's dual threat quarterback. Problem is if you get holding. You're talking like your QB sneak. No dual threat quarterback on a QB sneak is going to get more than 2 yards. It's not going to happen. There's no difference between 44 and 42. There's no chance. Ravens trying to do kickers in 26. I would assume so. I would assume they're going to bring in someone as competition. Yeah, Coleman too, yeah. Who hires Kubiak if the team is firing head coaches right now? Who would hire Kubiak? I'm going to say right now my guess will be Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta. Right, to be fair, it worked out pretty well. Yeah, Brad Allen screwed me in the playoffs, and he had to work our game. Of course he had to work our game. And he was the ref in the Jags-Colts game, which was terribly officiated. He was the ref 2 weeks ago in that Jaguars-Colts game, where we got called for unnecessary roughness on a crap call. Relay with the shoulder. I know what we're supposed to do. Like a QB, like a draw. The problem with the draw is that you risk holding. At that point, Loop, you have to remember, Tyler Loop is not good from 50 plus. A little more activity than I expected? No, I expect about 3 getting fired. I expect about 3. I think if Morris didn't get fired yesterday, yes, there would be a lot more activity. If he got fired today, I would have said yes. So I think across the last 24 hours, yes, a bit more activity. But today, no, not really. Yeah, Rivers would serve as a lower job in college or the pros? Absolutely. Like as an OC in NFL? No problem with that. No problem starting off as an OC in the NFL. But to be the head coach, not crazy about it. At least not yet. Not yet on that one. Yeah, I know what he's doing right now, Allison. I have no idea. Rather than start as defensive quality controller Joe Gibbs. Yes, he did. It's probably good play-by-play. I do not. I do not know what analyst was good play-by-play. Ref go hard against your team this season? He was not. Well, he's just crap in general. Brad Allen, he only did one of our games, but Brad Allen was bad in the Jags Colts game. Tim McCarver, really? I never knew he did play-by-play. I never knew that. Packers, Bears, Chargers, Pats, Spencer, Blue Hair Lawyer. Yes, they have, after all that. Like, Adrian Hill, the fact that Brad Allen, after that performance, the entire third quarter was a mess. Bucs, Panthers was a mess this week. The third quarter of that game was so poorly officiated, probably the worst officiated quarter of this entire season in any game. And the fact that he gets an assignment and it's our game, I hate it. By rule, they should get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I really don't know what you're supposed to do. It's a bad call. It usually, more often than not, is a bad call. I mean, the refs can't enforce stuff as it is right now, and they're making judgment calls like that. Trey who? Trey Hendrickson requests trade? He's been wanting to request a trade for a while. I haven't seen anything about Hendrickson, though. I've seen nothing about Hendrickson. I've seen nothing about Hendrickson. OT after this stream? No, only tonight, because we got the FCS Championship in about an hour and a half. Lamar game limit 2 years in a row where he didn't screw up is kind of sad. Yep, not his fault. Well, at least the Bills. I mean, the Bills game, he did have that fumble in the first half. Oh, Trey Young. Oh, Trey Young. I don't see anything with that. Let me check. Yeah, Trey, yeah. Yeah, let me check on that one. Let me see. The Wizards? The Wizards won Trey Young? Yep, you got it, yeah. I think it's time. I don't think Trey Young can be a leader. I don't think Trey Young can be on that contract. I think it's a bad contract. So don't trade trick for Mac Jones. He's a good backup. How is exactly the thing he made demonstrate for Eberflus for? In what? When was that? Yeah, that's insane, Nick. That should not happen. That should not happen. Teams like similar where Tane coach at the year, I don't like that. It feels very tone deaf. When does Crosby leave Vegas? I think he's going to stay another year. With a new coach, I think he'll be able to buy in. Seton Hall, another clutch victory, still not ranked. Crazy. And that was with Grossi. It's funny, too, because, like, the 1 year they don't have the fan announce a thing, the fan actually has, like, media experience. Like, he probably could have presented it. You want today we get the Hall of Fame class? Yeah, fingers crossed they don't screw it up. Fingers crossed. Regular rule exists, Tyrell, but they don't enforce it well. Kneeling ball down before kicking a 45 field goal. Yeah, when Bears-Packers. Hang on. I did a dumb decision on a couple years ago. Okay. When does Barry get fired? I think at the end of next year if they're not good. So that was a little bit different because Santos is a noodle leg. Santos' leg is made of noodles. So that's a little bit different. And also, with that, the Bears could have gotten closer. Yes. So the Bears could have gotten closer. That was the insane part. They could have gotten closer. The Ravens had time for one play and one play only before kicking the field goal. So that's the difference. They had time for one play only. All 6 winners. I'm going with the Patriots, Jaguars, Texans, Bears, Rams, Niners. Since at 45, yeah, this was at 45 yards. Yeah, but come on. Here's the thing with that. The Ravens had, 9 seconds left? They had, 9 seconds left after the likely grab? Somewhere around that, the 9-10 mark. History very smart. We'll do one more dumb decision on Gannon. And I think Tomlin as well. Happy Gannon was Friday. I'm shocked, NJ Card fan. It should have happened. I'm glad it happened. I was shocked because the reporters were dead wrong. Because everyone was like, all signs of that he's staying. All signs of that he's staying. Thank God he got fired. Had to. Austin Ford not fired is a joke. So it's still not great. but at least Gannon's gone. Austin Ford should be gone as well. His first-round picks have been atrocious. 3 years there, he's done nothing. That team is worse than it was when he got there. And the thing with Austin Ford, obviously that 2024 class, 7 picks in the top 90, awful. So episode week 17, that's coming too. Yes, that will come. That will come later. Yeah, Rams at 12 seconds left and one time would have gone for touchdown before kicking the field. Promise if you get a sack or get called for holding, you're in trouble. The Bears in that spot, the Bears had literally 56 seconds left to get closer. That was the problem. They only get the, McDaniel sells a job. Yes, he does. Crazy. He's going to help lead the search alongside Aikman, which is nuts to me. Sam's the worst kicker in the NFL? No. No, at least he's accurate. He's not good, but at least he's accurate. Worst kicker in the NFL? I don't know who the worst kicker in the NFL would be. The Giants, not Saul's. Saul's been all right, but the guys who are trying out before Saul's were bad. Liam Cohen in week 5, I'm not sure that's going to come out. Super chat from GPS, Kevin Stefanski, former coach of the year, but so is Steven Stefanski, yes. Why did Browns do half measure? Because Andrew Berry's draft class was pretty good. Schweisinger was great, Graham was great, Judkins was great before the injury, Fannin was great. They had a lot of good players this year, and that's why I think he's saying. But there's way worse than Santos. Easily. But yeah, that's the difference between the Bears-Packers thing. They could have gone closer. Ravens could not have gone closer. Badgley, how McDaniel not get fired? Because the Dolphins, I think they're sold that it was a Chris Greer problem, that McDaniel's the right guy, and that he can lead an offense, and that the second half of the season he was pretty good. Yeah, Ryland's not good. My team's backup quarterback. Nick Mullins, noodle arm. Not crazy about him. He's one of the worst backups in football. Eddie Pinheiro? No, it's all right. Stefanski and everything good with that team? Yeah, it was just time to move on. Top 3 dumbest decisions of the year. Any coaches this year make dumbest decisions in Mount Rushmore? It's Saturday McCarthy. Glenn is getting to that point. Samson was solid. Yeah, Schroeder was not good. No. 2 straight wins. Not fan half measures. No. This is one of the few times I get it. Usually I'm not crazy about half measures. This is one of the few times I'm okay with it. But top 3 dumbest decisions of the year. I would say, Brian Callahan, Titans, Colts, with the end of the first half. D'Amico Ryans with the kickoff out of bounds, and Ben Johnson with the kickoff out of bounds. But again, there's no difference, come on, between 44 and 42. Calling him out twice now, too risky. Or at least Gannon injured quarterback, lost some close games. What's Taylor's excuse? Yeah, Taylor shouldn't have an excuse. It's that Mike Brown's too cheap. Like 3 years ago, the playoff with Joe Burrow as your quarterback is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Stefanski, best Browns coach I've had since reactivated? Absolutely. Not saying much, but that is true. Stefanski with the playoffs more than all the other Browns coaches in 99 combined. Crazy. How Bull's not fired yet? He's going to meet later today, apparently. Apparently, he's going to meet with Bucks ownership and brass today and see what happens. Brian Kelly got a job in the NFL at all? I doubt it. 26 is make or break for Mike McDaniel. I think so, too. Sure, Glenn Nonarts could be one for next season. Then we'll give a competitive advantage for teams that are 25 more favorites against him. Yeah, he did not handle the media well. I mean, you know how it's going to be. It's going to have Dante Moore start off as QB4. We all know it's a charade. They're just going to go up to QB2. And then they'll go week by week. It's not going to be good. I think you want to give your rookie quarterback confidence. If you get Dante Moore, you want to give him confidence. And I think Glenn's the worst guy to do that. I have down as coach sober. That would help as well. Yeah, Shiny known him students, so I sent a super chat, which ChatGPT team, which down was so. Yes, that was a fun one last night. That was a really fun one. Stefanski 2, all the other coaches since 99 1. That was Butch Davis, and that was the collapse against the Steelers. Brady Cook will start next year, yes. Tank Commander Brady Cook. Trae Young to the Wizards? I don't get why the Wizards would do it. Why would you take on that contract? Unless you're getting assets in return, the Hawks just want to move off that contract. But I don't get why the Wizards would want Young. He's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, Taylor's fired, so they keep him employed. And the fact that the Bengals are dirt cheap. That's what's keeping him employed. So I think dirt cheap. I'm not crazy about it. Not crazy about it at all. Thomas going to upgrade a quarterback? Yes. And Quinn Ewers is not good. Tua, he's done with the injuries. Thomas Sellis said about his aunt. Yeah, the aunt and balls being uncle. Yep, with a field goal. Yeah. I get it. It's that classic saying. Cross Brady Quinn and Connor Cook. Yeah, again, $10 more gets your name on that board. Like B starting. Gets your name on that board for $10. It's crazy, Jacob. Yep. Watch Bulls get fired during the FCS Championship. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Who trades for Mac Jones? I think the Niners keep him as a backup. He's not a starter. He doesn't have arm strength, but I think he's in a good spot in San Fran. Aaron Glenn staying, I think it's a mistake. Aaron Glenn is not good. He has no in-game management skills. That team was not competitive whatsoever. The last 5 games, I think, was the worst final 5 games by any team in NFL history. That defense did not get an interception. Absolutely nuts. No, just a funny story, Mr. Yvonne. It's not like happy about him getting cut. It was just a funny story. Look at that phone call. Yep. No, it's not that kind of call. Because you have no hard feelings in that one, too. I have nothing against Becker. I just think he's a bit of a hypocrite, but I have nothing against, and a bit of a sellout, but I have nothing against the guy. Seems like a nice guy, all things considered. Mike Brown, Taylor's contract expired, just so does Pam. Yep. Yep, same thing with Marvin Lewis. Remember Kyler Murray? I think he gets traded. Now, to where, I don't know. It depends on what happens with Rodgers. I think it's Pittsburgh, but if Rodgers retires, things could change. If you told me after week 1 with Ben Johnson mismanaging the kickoff, and then week 2 losing after dropping 50, Detroit dropping 50 on them, you tell me all that. If that would happen, I would not believe you. That they would win the North, I would not believe you at all. Matt Jones, whether my team was backup quarterback? Yes. At this point, yes. I can't believe I'm saying that because he was our backup last year, but yes. He was our backup last year. Who do you think it's Malik Willis? I can see the Browns. I think Cleveland. I think Cleveland goes for Malik Willis in free agency. Yeah, Trae Young has lost his luster. He's getting up there in age, too, at this point as well. When that happens, my name gets on the board for free with this one time saying I was right, but Bulls getting fired. Yep. Yeah, injuries are definitely part of his decline. Kingsbury's head coach again. Problem is that every time Kingsbury is the coach, they collapse in the second half. There was a trend at Texas Tech. There was a trend with the Cardinals. You think it was a special teams corner? Because it was the same exact mistake they made in the Colts game last year. Like Kingsbury, I just don't trust him at all. Who do you think it's Joe Burrow? No one. He's not getting traded. You're not trading a franchise quarterback. You're not trading away a franchise quarterback. Yeah, Kingsbury is not getting another. He shouldn't get another job. Mac Jones and Trevor proving this year really was Dougie P's fault. People thought it was crazy when I said, no, look, just get a new coach, get a new GM, and we can cook. And sure enough, the first year we do 13 wins. Like, sometimes the fans do know better. Yeah, the Green Shorts wins 7-0, yep. He wants out? He doesn't want out. No, that's just a rumor. He doesn't want out of Cincy. He wanted out if they couldn't re-sign Chase and Higgins. Where does Flores go? I think he stays in Minnesota one more year. I think he will stay with the Vikings one more year. There's not going to be a ton of openings. I think he's not the most attractive retread with Stefanski and Salah on the open market at this point. Where they played against Duke and Nebraska. Yes, they would have. Who do they wins MVP? I think it's going to be May, but I have no problem if Stafford wins it. What retread quarterback do the Cardinals sign now? Oh, man. I mean, they could get Willis, too. I could see Willis there. Trade for Spencer Rattler? Please, God, no. Have actual causality or is it sport timing? Well, it's every year. I mean, if it happens every single year. What team was looking at Doug Pearson? None. He's done. I think it's a red flag, the fact that Doug Pearson was attached to Press Taylor the moment Doug leaves the Eagles to make the playoffs and the moment he leaves the Jaguars to win 13 games. Jones, Arizona? No. No, I don't see that. Roger closed out the season for Minnesota and said Brosmer complete the farm cycle. Yes. Jets sign Levis? That'd be so funny. Had to get Cliff's schemes work early on, but doesn't adjust as the season goes on, so he's going to need to read after Thanksgiving. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Reach quarterbacks are our thing. You'll get Kyler Murray next year and you'll like it. Watch Reyes and Kingsbury trade for Murray. I don't think they're going to get Kingsbury. Kingsbury's not a hot name this cycle, especially after how bad the Commanders looked. Then one seed in the conference with the lowest seed who won the wild card? Yes, they do. They reseed based on that. Cards in with Geno Smith? Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. That's the sound you hear is State Farm Stadium being completely empty outside for the casinos at that point. Uriah saying he's done for this year. I wonder if that changes now with the team in the playoffs. Where would Kyler be a better quarterback, Cleveland or the Jets? I think Cleveland would be a better fit for him because he would start. Jets, you're probably competing against Dante Moore. Right, Brissett, but he's not a starter. Brissett's a quality backup. He's not a starter at this point. 2 for Kyler straight up? No, that'd be a terrible trade. Terrible trade for the Cardinals. Titans trade Levis for the Packers instead of Willis. Similar success? No. No, Willis was always raw coming out of college. He always had the tools, but he was very raw coming out. Levis was never raw. He was just really bad. Should you go to Cleveland? Maybe. Good enough he deserved 2 chances at head coach. Yeah, I could see that. Rodgers tired for the season? I'm going to say no. I think he has 1 more year left. Lance, yeah, Trey Lance disappointed. Trey Lance killed his chance next year at starting somewhere else. I really had hope in Lance. Not that he would win, but he would look competent. Because he looked good in the preseason. He did not do that. He did not do that. Chambliss go back to Ole Miss if he gets the waiver. Yep. Kamara's hired OC. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know on that one. I mean, Brunell's not a bad fit if the Lions don't fire Horton. And they don't promote from within. Yeah, Tosh Lupoi is a great hire. I love that hire. He has done wonders with that Oregon defense. That defense swarms. I love that defense. He knows the area well with the West Coast. I think that's a great hire. I like how fiery he is, too. I like it a lot. Jador and Gabriel playing Center Murray. No. Steelers, Jets, Colts, quarterback Darwin Holmes at this point, yeah. At this point. Contract baseball? No. No. And start in the minor leagues? No. He had a lot of reasons to pick football. You don't want to... The minor leagues are a grind. McDaniel's on shaky ground corner, Schefter on SportsCenter? Ooh. All right. Again, I thought he was leading the search, but we'll see. McDaniel's to the Browns now. No, well, he might even get fired. Sanders was not good. Sanders did not play well. He made some of the worst throws I've ever seen. You know, Chandler down potentially. How's Drepan? Chambliss is going back to college. I think Moore's still going to be QB2, and Mendoza's still QB1. It's a matter of Simpson. Simpson would either be QB3 if Chambliss goes back, QB4 if he doesn't. Simpson would be a first-round pick if Chambliss goes back. We don't coach an offense? I think so. I think he can. He's done a good job in Detroit on their staff. I think so. We'll stand for a couple more minutes, and then we'll sign off, and then we'll do the FCS Championship later tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. Montana State, Illinois State. We're going to stand for a few more minutes. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you like what you see, folks, hit the like button, subscribe, helps out on the channel. Try to go to the community even more. Appreciate all you guys being here. But, yeah. He might be dealing. He'll get a... Oh, yeah, if he gets fired, he'll be an OC job. Easily. Easily. If he goes back for another year, he could potentially go first overall. It's going to be tough, because he'd be on the older side of things. Arch Manning's younger, and he's more physically gifted. I mean, Chambliss doesn't have the height. Manning has the frame. Dolphins get a quarterback? Yeah, I could see potentially like a Malik Willis situation there. I could see go after a guy like Willis. What other backups become free agents this year? Not Lance. Oh, man. Who? I was talking about someone earlier. That could be a fit. If the Colts still want to bring back Daniel Jones, that would not be the worst idea on a 2-year deal. Hoover, that's a great get for Indiana. He was great at TCU this year. And they're going to be picking up where they left off next year after Mendoza goes to the draft. Yeah, Chambliss, he could potentially go top 10. Lance got second, said he didn't feel Benito come from him. Yeah, he has no feel for the game, unfortunately. Yeah, Mendoza doesn't have any more eligibility. No, he does not. He is not. He's a redshirt senior, I believe. Trubisky showed up to where you found goes down? No. No, I'm not worried about the Bills if Trubisky's the quarterback. If Howard retires, will Howard take over? I don't know about the arm strength with Howard. I don't know. We got to see Becker make a return to the Packers or Falcons. Yes, we do. Yes, we absolutely do. Yeah, we'll not be too worried about the Bills if Allen goes down. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully it's not like the 2017 game where Tyrod Taylor went down. We got Nathan Peterman on the final drive. But it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a really fun game. Look, whatever happens, happens. We're underdogs. It's been a heck of a ride. I don't have to see over the line if you can just sling it to the sidelines. Look at Russ. That is true. Though once that physical ability goes down, look at Russ. Your prime is more limited if you're a short quarterback. You're on the shorter side, your prime is more limited. Who I like for FCS Championship? Montana State. I will take Montana State. Jackson, Bills 3. I'd be shocked if that happens. Blake Bortles, Tyrod Taylor is a lot different than Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen. Feels good to not be worried about backup? Yep, it feels very good. Like, I was not worried when Brandon Allen came in the game. Like, I think the backup curse, we broke it this year. It's crazy. Jake Browning's just our birdie quarterback for whatever reason. Jake Browning just does great against us. Other than that, like, I mean, Davis Mills, I don't count as a backup at this point. Davis Mills, how many years does he have left on his contract? Hang on a second. How many years does Davis Mills have left on his contract? Oh, he's only got, wait, he's signed through 26. Man. Young's prime limited? I think a little bit, yeah. I'm not sure he's in his prime to begin with. Right, Saints game awareness for the vestibule. Although, to be fair, he's a freshman. So, you mean the Cotton Bowl. But, to be fair, he's a freshman. So, he showed a lot for a freshman already this year. So, we'll see. Yeah, but I think Bryce Young's prime is going to be limited. Your Hawks working on a trade for Trey right now. Yeah, I can't believe the Wizards. I mean, Davis supposed to be a starter. Well, he's with the Texans next year. But he'll get a job in 27. I mean, he's a darn good quarterback. But it's funny. He said Tyrod Taylor, and then he changed his own pronunciation to Tyrod. So people go either way on that one. He goes to 40 quarterback, yes. Davis Mills, he's a smart quarterback too. He went to Stanford. Smart quarterback. He has the awareness to play in the league. General Mills, yep. And that was crazy too, Wisconsin River Falls, yeah. And what they have, a losing record 16 straight seasons. So absolutely nuts, that. 16 straight seasons with a losing record. And then turn around just like that. Crazy. Crazy. They upset the dynasty. Crazy in the Stag Bowl yesterday. Absolutely crazy. All right, on that note, I think I'm going to call it here. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you guys a ton for this Black Monday stream. You guys have been awesome. We're going to be live in an hour for the FCS Championship. Montana State, Illinois State on ESPN. Yeah, that neck is 4 feet on, so yes, it is. He's got the frame to do it. All right, I appreciate all you guys tuning in for this one. I'm going to sign off here with the Black Monday news, and we will be going live later tonight for the FCS Championship. We'll do overtime after that game is done. So make sure you're here for the FCS Championship. Watch the Pete Carroll dumb decision. Click that link above to watch it on how we got fired in that game against the Broncos. Take care. I'll see you guys in an hour for the FCS Championship. Montana State, Illinois State, coming up next. Yeah, I know a coach is going to get canned like 5 minutes after I sign off. I know it. Chiefs done? No, if Mahomes comes back, they're fine. If Mahomes comes back, they're